Good evening, everyone. Hello and welcome along live to the World Darts Championship Watchalong 2021. It is day number 2. It is the evening session, and my fucking god, I apologise that I'm not live earlier for the Watchalong. Blame Just Eat, all fucking Just Eat's fault. Of course, you'll know if you're watching the afternoon stream. I tried to get some food. It didn't get here till 7. It was a fucking big piss take, and ultimately, it means that I missed the first 2 games, which is a real shame indeed. But we've got 2 fantastic games coming up. It's the 2 games, luckily, that I didn't want to miss. Of course, we've got Lisa Ashton coming up, hopefully very soon, coming up against Adam Hunt. And then we've also got that big game between Glen, Durrant and Diogo Portela. So it will be very soon that we'll have those 2 games underway. I just need a quick second, just because we've got at least another 2 hours. Just going to go for a quick toilet break, and then we will get underway. But it was a big, massive farce. I do apologise why it took so long to get on stream. But we are underway, and we will be on with that game between Lisa Ashton and Adam Hunt, of course, with our live watch-along in just a moment. So do give me a minute, and I will be underway with that, and I'll be back in a second. I'm back, here we go. We should be ready for the World Darts Championship. The next game's on the board. How are we all doing? I hope you're all good. Let me take the thumbnail off. Yes, we're finally here. Oh my god, it took too long for the food to arrive. I do apologise about that. It was a nightmare, honestly. Absolute nightmare. Keep that door shut. There we go, apologies about that. So we've got 2 good games coming up tonight in the World Darts Championship. We've already had 2 games go on. And apologies for the fact that it took forever, honestly, for the food to come and that. So, you're all good, Andy? Welcome along to the stream. And, yeah, we're going to get underway with the first big game of the evening. Adam Hunt coming up against Lisa Ashton in just a moment's time. Very excited for this game. And as I said, I do apologise for the fact it took so bloody long to be able to get live. As I said, it means quite luckily the 2 games that I wanted to watch tonight I don't actually miss, which is quite lucky to a certain extent. But at the same time, of course, It does mean that we've missed 2 games today, which is a real shame indeed, but I guess it means less streaming time for me, so I can look at it as in a positive in a way, but you can see on the screen, you know, Max Hopp winning 3-0 against Mathers. Pretty easy game for Hopp, although Mathers did quite well towards the end. And Callum Ridge there, I mean, a tough 3-1 game against Bailey. It was a pretty well-contested match, if I'm being honest with you. But we've got 2 very good games, as I said. Adam Hunt coming up in a minute against Lisa Ashton. And Glen Durrant against Diogo Portela. What a game that is going to be when that one comes on around. Probably I'd have said about 9 o'clock with that game. I hope you're all good as always. And if you use the channel, do leave a like and a subscription. I've noticed that there's been quite a few of you that have subscribed while the channel's been offline for a few hours, of course, with the original morning session. So big thank you to all of you that have subscribed. We're now only 8 subscribers away from 1,350, which is fantastic indeed. Really, really good to see, of course. Plenty of new people joining the channel. And because it's been so positive with the amount of people that have kind of got involved with these watch-alongs and subscribed and left likes, we will definitely be doing more darts watch-alongs in the future, I can tell you that for sure. But Adam is put in the chat, Andy's... Not Adam, what the fuck, of course, Adam Hunt in a bit. Andy, he's on the gin again, how indeed, let's fucking go! Because he's going to be really good, two good games coming up here. Of course, Lisa Ashton, who has got a big task on her hands today. We know last year that the success of Fallon Sherrock was massive for the PDC. Absolutely massive. For her to get through in the competition, for her to do so well, is, you know, a fantastic story. But this is all about Lisa Ashton today. Let's put Fallon Sherrock aside. It was a fantastic achievement for her. But Lisa Ashton out is one of the best, you know, women's darts players out there, alongside Dita Hedman, of course. And it's a real opportunity for these 2 women darts players over the next few days to show themselves off in this competition. And in fact, we did see Lisa Ashton, of course, at the Boyle Swirl Grand Prix, which was a couple of weeks ago. And unfortunately for her, it was a very tricky group that she was put into. It was an incredibly tough test, and ultimately she did drop out at the group stages. But she's got a chance to really prove herself tonight against Adam Hunt. Now, I don't think this is going to be a fairly easy game. I mean, Chris is in the chat, says, hi guys, if you don't too much, I'm watching Liverpool, Tottenham 2. Come on, Reds. Very best of luck tonight in that game, of course. Should be a very good match in the Premier League. One of those games that I kind of did wish I was able to watch. But ultimately, Adam Hunt, known as the Hunter, currently ranked 76th, around 70th in darts. Comes on to Underdog by Kasabian, which is a fucking great song. But ultimately, in terms of his PDC events, he has... always never actually made it past the first round. In terms of his other achievements, he's made the last 16 of the Grand Slam this year. He was in the last 64 of the Player Championship finals. So he's got a little bit of a background behind him. But ultimately, this is a very big game indeed. And no doubt, I think if it was with fans there, it would probably be the majority of them supporting Lisa Ashton, which is absolutely understandable. But this is going to be a good game. Really looking forward to this one. Really looking forward to this. Put your score predictions in the chat. I think Lisa Ashton might win this. I'm going to go 3-2 to Lisa Ashton. And this is going to be a fantastic game to watch. And as I said before, we've got another game coming up straight afterwards. Glen Durrant taking on Diogo Portela in another mammoth fixture tonight. Of course, a round 2 fixture that one is. But big test here for Adam Hunt. The positive for Hunt here is that there's no crowd. If there was a crowd... Of course, we know what the crowd would probably be like. They would probably be booing Adam Hunt, supporting Lisa Ashton. In this respect, he hasn't actually got the crowd, of course, which means it might work in his favour potentially. But big game this is going to be, and it should be kicking off in a moment. As I said, once again, apologies for the fact that I wasn't able to get live until, about 10 minutes ago. It's been an absolute fucking nightmare tonight. Didn't expect it to be as chaotic as I thought it was going to be, but we are live now. We are live indeed, and this game will be getting underway in a moment. Give me 2 seconds here, and it should be a good game indeed. So here we go, 1,000 to 1 for Lisa Ashton to win it. Big odds indeed. As for Adam Hunt, he's currently at the odds of winning the tournament of, I think, 500 to 1, I think. But it's going to be a big game either way, this one. But here we go then. Adam Hunt under pressure, 751 himself. Let me put the phone down. Apologies, I need to try and sort a few things out. 751, Adam Hunt coming into this game to win the tournament. What a game this is going to be. Can the World Darts Championship bring us a second women's victory in the first round? Of course, Fallon Sherritt last year doing it against Ted Evans. Without further ado, the game is now underway. And we have our first game of the night on the Sports Corner. The second game, well, technically the third game of the day indeed. And to start off here, Lisa Ashton will begin with her first 3 darts of 45. So not the best start there for Lisa Ashton. But this is going to be a long game. This is going to be probably over an hour. We might have the first 180, which we do indeed. First 180 on the board of the night for me. The first 180 on the board for Adam Hunt in this game against Lisa Ashton. And what a perfect start that will be for the youngster, of course, Adam Hunt, who will certainly be feeling under a little bit of pressure coming up against one of the world's best female darts players in the game. But he's already down 247 after, I think, 9 darts, which is a good start indeed for the Englishman, as Lisa Ashton here gets herself 85 to put herself down to 252. So a good start here from Lisa Ashton. Adam Hunt down at 147 here. He's not going to be able to check it out, but what he can do is set himself up with a very decent score and leaves himself down at 16, which means he will at least get 6 darts here to take the first leg of the match. Chris put in the chat Lisa Ashton to be the darts version of Leicester. Hey, you never know, but it's a good start here for Adam Hunt. He takes the first leg of the game. Good start with that 180 means that he takes the lead in this match. 1 leg to nothing against Lisa Ashton. Big thank you to everybody leaving likes as well tonight. Thank you very much. Greatly appreciated. I promise you that tomorrow I will try and be live for 6 o'clock because I won't be doing the morning one, which means I get a bit of a lie in bed and I can prepare everything for the evening stream, which is fantastic indeed. But Lisa Ashton here, coming on 404 after 3 darts, does get herself 95 to put herself down to 309. Adam Hunt here, currently on 4 after his first 3 darts, will eventually lead himself down to 348. So Lisa Ashton here got a bit of a advantage over Adam Hunt in this first little section of the second leg in this first set. She has 134 here, very good start indeed, and Hunt here going for another 180 in this game. He's not going to get it though. He'll get 140 instead, which is a very good score indeed from Adam Hunt as he tries to hunt down Lisa Ashton in this second leg. But she's on for the 180 here. Lisa Ashton, she'll go, of course, 435 with being at 175. While Hunt here, he could go for a 180 himself. Does get 2 20s, could get 3 trebles, and it's 3 treble 20s. 2 180s on the board for Adam Hunt. He's down to 28, which means Ashton here needs to get tops. And she does indeed, and Lisa Ashton makes it 1 leg apiece in this first set. And after Adam Hunt there getting the 180, certainly putting a little bit of pressure on Lisa Ashton there to check out that 40 almost instantly in this second leg, which we're now, of course, onto the third. And what an experience this is for Lisa Ashton, of course, tends to be, of course, one of the better players in terms of the women's side of darts. Probably one of the top 3, in fact, probably even say top 2, or, of course, Data Hedman as well. Another one we're going to see a little bit later on at the World Darts Championship. Going to be exciting to see how she does. But currently, after a few darts on the board, Adam Hunt down at 268. Lisa Ashton at 362. There's certainly a little bit of a gap here for Adam Hunt to exploit. And, well, he's got a chance here for another 180. But this time only gets 140 and very nearly there. A chance for his third 180 of the match already. And we're not even 1 set in to this fixture. And, well, you can see right now that Adam Hunt here at 128 doesn't have to check out. He can kind of set himself up here and knows that he'll probably have at least 6 darts at the score that he leaves here, which he's going to take off 96 from 128, which leaves him with 32, which should mean roughly he gets about 6 darts at that 32, which will be double 16, of course. As for Lisa Ashton here, she's going to get herself only 30, which means she could have, he could have at least 9 darts here, potentially. And, well, he doesn't need any darts because he gets his first time, and it'll be Adam Hunt, who makes it 2 legs to 1, and he's looking very comfortable right now, Adam Hunt, in this game. Lisa Ashton just needs to improve her scoring here because it's been a little bit shaky so far from the English, well, I was going to say Englishman, of course. From the female, of course, Lisa Ashton. But she's held off here a little bit in this 4th leg, only 59, and the average is currently right now, Hunt averaging 112, Lisa Ashton currently averaging about 90, which certainly isn't bad for Lisa Ashton, but with the way Hunt is right now, he's on fire, and he's on here for another 180, but can only get himself 109 in the end, which is certainly not bad score indeed, leaves him with 3-4-1, Ashton on 2-6-7 here, and she's on for a 180 of her own here, Lisa Ashton. Oh, it's beautiful, 180 from Lisa Ashton. That's the 3rd one of the game, and well, I thought for a second there Adam Hunt was going to get a 180 of his own, but he gets only 137 to leave him down at 204, which means Ashton here has a chance to check out the 87. She needs a double 18. Still needs it. And she's still going to need it, but she'll have another 3 darts at that double 18 to make it 2 legs apiece in this first set. Good start to this game. So only 59 there for Hunt. Means that double 18 required here for Lisa Ashton to take the second leg of the game and make it 2 apiece. And, well, she gets it first time. Lovely finish there from Lisa. And it's 2 apiece in this game. We're going down to a deciding leg here to see who takes the first set of the match. And both players playing at a very nice pace this game. Really good rhythm so far. And both players not having a bad streak so far. And there could be a chance here for Lisa Ashton to get another 180. And she does get 140 in the end. And it's been a lovely start to this game indeed. Lisa Ashton currently down at 3-6-1 and Adam Hunt at 3-6-7. Of course, as we go into this last leg of the first set. And it's I mean, I've got to say, fair play to her so far. We'll talk about this first set in a little moment when it's finished. But if she can get this first set on the board, it will make things interesting. Will Adam Hunt start to feel a little bit of pressure on himself to go out there and get a victory? We'll have to find out, but she's currently on 2-6-5, Hunt on 2-1-4. She needs to get a treble. And she does get a treble 19 to get 96. Very good score there from Ashton. Puts her down at 168. Hunt at 2-1-4. And a massive one there from Hunt. 140 on the board, which means he's already down to 74. Ashton here needs to put the pressure on him with a treble of her own. She gets a treble 20, a 20, and an 18, which means she goes down all the way to 70. Putting a little bit of pressure on Hunt here to check out that 74. He gets the 14, needs the tops to win the set. And it's just above. And, well, now Lisa Ashton got a big chance here on 70 to take out and take the first set. She only gets a 6. She needs treble 14 and she doesn't get it, which means she's going to have to go for bull. And she gets the bull. That is a lovely finish from Lisa Ashton. She takes the first set of the game with a brilliant bull. And it means that Adam Hunt is under some pressure to go out there and get something in this game. Because as it currently stands, that brilliant bull there from Lisa Ashton, it puts her 1 set up. And after Adam Hunt, who was averaging about 110 for the majority of that first set, is under pressure to one-up Lisa Ashton. As it currently stands, it's 1 set to Ashton. Hunt has some work to do. And there we go, that is the first set of the game between Lisa Ashton and Adam Hunt finished. And as it currently stands, Lisa Ashton in the lead in this game. And Chris has put in the chat, well, here we go. Party at the Pally. It bloody is right now. Because Lisa Ashton is currently 1 set up against Adam Hunt. And of course, let's not get excited too early here. We've got a long way to go in this game, but it's been a fantastic start to this match. You know, both players playing this game at a really, really good pace so far. Adam Hunt, as I said before, averaging around about 110 for the majority of this set. Lisa Ashton averaging around about the 90s mark, which certainly isn't a bad average. You know, some games that will win you it in certain matches, but ultimately her finishing has been fantastic so far. I mean, that bull finish there at the end of this set was really, really lovely and a perfect way to end off what was a fantastic set for both players. And ultimately, for Adam Hunt, you don't change anything up here. You've been playing very well indeed. You've hit, I think he's now 3 180s in this match. He's got 2 of them so far. Ashton's had over 180 of her own. It's been a really, really enjoyable watch. And if it can keep at this same pace, we could be in for an absolutely enthralling encounter between these 2 brilliant players in Hunt and Ashton. And well, as it currently stands, it is Ashton who is 1-0 to the good. If you're new to stream, as always, do leave a like and a subscription on the channel. Is very greatly appreciated. We are now only 8 subscribers away from 1,350, which is mad. There's been loads of you that have subscribed, so thank you ever so much as always. But for Adam Hunt right now, he's averaging 100 plus, and somehow he's not been able to get the set to his name, which is mad indeed. But if he keeps chipping away and keeps chipping away, we could eventually, you know, see him get a few legs in this game like he did in that first original set. But Lisa Ashton, what a fantastic start she's had. And I will say as well, now ultimately, I think for Ashton, could it have been a better atmosphere for her with fans? Probably yes. We know that after Fana Sherritt winning, no doubt, I think a lot of the women's players would get a lot of support, which is always nice to see. But at the same time, for Adam Hunt, he'll probably be looking at it and thinking to himself, well, actually, I've got a better atmosphere today because I don't have all those fans, which no doubt would probably be booing and not necessarily chanting for him. So probably for him today, it's a much better position without fans. For Ashton, maybe a little bit worse. But at the same time, she's already had that experience of playing at the Boz Sports World Grand Prix in front of no fans, especially in a big PDC event. So it's good, of course, for her. But even better for her right now because she's 1 set up and the 2 players are back out onto the oche, which means we should be getting underway with this second set in just a moment. I mean, Andy's put Lisa is a natural talent like MVG, great player. She's a really good player to watch. I mean, as I said before, with the Boys Sports Grand Prix, she necessarily didn't get much of a chance to show herself off because it was a really, really tricky group she was in. And, you know, no doubt I think she was probably thinking in her head, well, it's going to be impossible to get out of it. But ultimately, she's got a good chance here to really prove herself. And so far, in that first set, she certainly has. But we're now underway with the second set of this 2021 World Darts Championship Round 1 fixture. And Ashton starting off with 100 here. Adam Hunt starting better with a 140, not 130, 140 after 3 darts. And I think for Ashton here, the important thing is get this first leg on the board. Although Hunt here might be on for 180, he will change for 139. To give you an actual kind of look at the averages here, Hunt is playing around 110. Lisa Ashton currently playing around a 95 on the averages, which just proves how well both of these players are playing right now in this fixture. And if she can keep that consistency, in terms of a double, she's finished 60% of them. Hunt's finished 67%, but he's only had 2 out of 3 so far. But continuing on with this game, Ashton's on here for a potential 180. And she gets 140 with the scores currently 164 to Adam Hunt and 108 to Ashton. Treble 19 and treble 7 for here for Hunt. He hit the treble 7 first, which means he cannot check out. But he can leave himself with a very, very good score indeed. He's all the way down to 32. And Ashton's going to have to try and check out this 108. She gets the treble 20. Needs the 16. Needs the double 16 for a lovely 108. And she just can't get it, which means a real good chance here for Adam Hunt to get double 16. He hits the 16, needs double 8. And gets the double 8 to give him the first leg of the second set. Very good start indeed there from Adam Hunt, who will no doubt feel under the cosh a little bit with Lisa Ashton in this game. Very big there for Adam Hunt. And a very good game overall so far. My phone is pinging off like mad. I do apologise if you can hear it vibrating in the background constantly. It's pinging left, right and centre right now. But currently Lisa Ashton Not the best of starts in this second leg, the second set. Only 57, which certainly drops down average a little bit. And there's a chance here for Hunt to get the 180, which he certainly does. Big 180 there for Hunt. That's his third of the game, and he's flying in this match with the 180 so far, and that is 4 for the entire match. Really, really good start here for Adam Hunt, who he's hitting 180s left, right, and centre in this game, and really putting Lisa Ashton under some major pressure here because he's already down to 181 after 6 darts. Lisa Ashton at 344. She needs to get a 180 of her own. She's got 2 double 20s. Chance for the 180 and only gets 140, but still leaves her nice and close to Adam Hunt at 181. He will get a treble 19 with his last dart to knock him down by 96 to 85. As for Ashton here, she's at 204. She's going to have to get a treble of her own here and get a score down nice and low. And she hits 2 20s and then 18. Only 58, which drops her down to 146. And Hunt here has a chance to hit double 14. Now needs double 7. And doesn't get the score, which means Ashton has a chance to check out the 146. She's going to have to take it out. She gets the treble 20. Then gets a 20, which means she won't be able to check out. And only get 86, which will put her down to 60. 14 here for Adam Hunt. He needs double 4. Got one more crack at the double 4 here. And he gets it. Big dart there from Adam Hunt. It puts him 2 legs to the good in this fixture. And put Lisa Ashton under some severe pressure because he has certainly been dominating this last 2 legs by a country mile. And Ashton, who was certainly electric at the start here, not been playing too bad necessarily speaking, but still just needs to try and keep up with the high averages that she's had over the course of that first original set. Big opportunities for her in this game, and after the first 6 darts, Hunt is already down to 361. As for Lisa Ashton, her average still at 95, she's down to 305 after 6 darts. Hunt's going to reply here with 140. Fantastic darts here from the Englishman, who's done really, really well to keep up with Ashton. Can she have a reply of her own? She gets an 18, then gets a treble 20, and then a 1, and only gets 79, and really lets off Adam Hunt here, who can now start to run away with things if he can get a treble on the board. Which he doesn't, and only gets 57 to leave Hunt with 164. Ashton at 226, which means he'll get at least 3 match darts at his 164, but no doubt he will probably try to get his score down a little bit lower before checking out. So Hunt here at 164. Gets a 19. Won't be checking out. Gets an outer ball for the 25. And gets a 20, which means he will be down to 90. In fact, he's down to 100, spot on. 138 here for Ashton. Gets the treble 20. Now needs treble 18. She'll go for the 18 and gets a double 20, which means she is down to 20 in the game. Hunt here on 100. Gets the treble 20. Needs the double for 100. Check out. Now needs double 10. And gets the double 10. And that is the set going to Adam Hunt. And well, it was a tricky first set against Lisa Ashton, but he's fought his way back in comfortably in a set where Ashton didn't really do much at all. The kind of average was slowly dwindling throughout that second set, and it makes things interesting. It's 1 set apiece. This is going to be not a slog of a match, but a very tricky one for both players. As it currently stands, it's Hunt 1, Lisa Ashton 1. If you're new, as always, do leave a like and a subscription. Back in a moment. My bad. Oh, I left my microphone on there. Oh, naughty me. There we go. That's the second set of this game completed. As it currently stands in this match, Adam Hunt won, Lisa Ashton won, and Adam Hunt there doing really well in that set. I'm going to say he's going to be under a lot of pressure here in this game. Original first set, of course, Lisa Ashton winning it, and she was doing very well indeed, but ultimately now I would say she's not necessarily dwindling a little bit. Her average has gone down very slightly. Maybe not getting as many tons and 100 pluses in terms of a dart so far compared to Hunt, who seems to be hitting very high with his scores so far. But as I think Chris has perfectly said in the chat, if Hunt can keep this up, he could win it 3-1. And of course, Andy Humphrey in the chat saying good match, 1-1 so far. Of course, very even game indeed. But if you want to use the stream, thank you very much for joining us. I see there's a lot of you in the stream. I hope you are enjoying it. We've got 8 subscribers away from 1,350. So if you haven't subscribed, please do. And I know I say it after every little break, but it's always nice to say hello to a few of you new people in the stream. And it's always nice to have some new faces sticking around on the channel, because we've got more darts watch-alongs coming up over the PDC World Darts Championship. But as it currently stands, Adam Hunt really starting to take a bit of control in this game. Fantastic from him so far in that second set. Really started to take a foothold of the match, and there were multiple points in those legs where Lisa Ashton ultimately just was too far behind to be able to get back. There was points where, realistically he was having at least 6 match darts at, double 16s, which inevitably, unless you're on a shocking run of form or you're just having a real bad blip, 9 times out of 10 you're going to hit it within the first 3 anyway. So it's looking very good indeed. As for Lisa Ashton, I think that break might just help her out a little bit. Not necessarily, as I said, playing bad, but just a slight decrease in play from that first set, which is expected. She was lingering around nearly the 100 mark in terms of her average, which ultimately, at the end of the day, I think a lot of the players in this first round will struggle a little bit to kind of keep up with the 100-plus averages for a long period of the game. But both players are going to be back out on that hockey in a little moment. As it currently stands, of course, it's a really good game, one apiece in terms of sets, and a lovely, lovely match to watch so far. In terms of the games that have gone on today, you'll see that Max Hopp beat Mathers 3-0 in that round 1 fixture. Callum Ridge beating Bailey 3-1. Really good game that one was. Bailey doing very well, but ultimately Callum Ridge just being a better player overall. Won that game 3-1. Of course, we've got Adam Hunt taking on Lisa Ashton now. And then the final game of the day, which of course I missed the first 2 because Justy completely ruined my day and I wasn't able to kind of watch the other games going on. I watched them in the background but wasn't able to stream them. So those 2 were alright. But the big game, of course, that round 2 fixture between Glen Durrant and Diogo Portela, which is going to be a very good game to watch, because the Brazilian, who was fantastic in that first game he played not too long ago against Steve Beaton yesterday, he comes up against Glen Durrant. Now that game is an interesting one, but what's even more interesting is that we are back underway here in the game between Lisa Ashton and Adam Hunt. And as it currently stands, both players with their first darts of this third set, both at 100. There's a 140 there for Adam Hunt, whose average has dropped himself. He's now down, lingering around the 100 mark for his average. And Lisa Ashton here with a 180. Brilliant 180 there from Lisa Ashton, and it puts her in the driving seat for this set already. And Adam Hunt only getting 62 in the end there. Really disappointing indeed. And, well, the crowd, of course, we heard there, without the crowd being in the stadium, how empty the Ali Pali must feel right now without fans. And it's a strange atmosphere, but it's also interesting to see, of course, the Ali Pali behind closed doors. It's something that we've never tended to see before. But Chris pointing in the chat there, Liverpool 1-0 up. Salah scoring. Deflected shot from the edge of the box. Good to see there that Mohamed Salah getting a goal for Liverpool. Of course, some big games going on tonight. In fact, I haven't even checked if Rotherham United are winning, my local side. But as it currently stands, Adam Hunt 140. Lisa Ashton 140 as well. Not been a bad little leg this one so far, and we are 0-0. Okay, that's not too bad. Could be worse for us. But here, Ashton on a 40, gets the 20, needs double 10, gets the double 10, needs double 5, and she gets the double 5, which is a big leg on the board in that first set, and Lisa Ashton takes the lead once again, and a break of throw as well for Lisa Ashton, which is massive for her in this game. And she starts off that break of throw with a 60, which is a real shame. She'll have wanted certainly something much better than that. And can Adam Hunt put the pressure on her early on here? He gets a treble 20 and a 20, and gets another treble 20 to make it 140. Ashton here is going to need to get at least a decent treble, which she gets first time. Gets another one. She's on for another 180 here. And it's very unlucky. You could see it was going to go into the treble 20 there, but it deflected into the 20, and she gets 140. And then now it's a chance for Adam Hunt to get 180, and he gets 140 himself. And Hunt is now down to 221. Lisa Ashton at 301. 20 there for Ashton. Gets another treble 20 on the board and gets the 20 herself. It's been a lovely little leg this. All the players, Hunt and Ashton, currently hitting above a ton with their darts so far in this second leg of the third set. Although Hunt has just ruined that. Commentator's curse. Because he only got 93, which leaves him 128. Ashton now, treble 20. Gets to 20. Might need another decent treble, which she gets. And she knocks 137 off a score to leave 64. Hunt at 128 here, which he's not going to be able to check out. So can only leave himself with a decent finish. He gets 112 to leave himself 16, which means Ashton's going to have to check out this 64. Starting with the treble 16, which she gets, and the double 8s, which she doesn't get. She gets a double 11 and she busts, which is very unlucky. And Hunt here with a double 8 can capitalise on that mistake from Lisa Ashton. And it's one leg apiece, and Lisa Ashton will certainly feel disappointed at herself there that hit the double 11 and bust her score. Very unlucky indeed there for Ashton, but once again, it's another moment in this PDC World Darts Championship where Hunt will look and think, I can capitalise on that mistake. Very similar to the early game today that we saw in the afternoon fixture. Well, fixtures at the very least. But Hunt here, on for 140. Only gets 89 in the end, after in a treble 3. And now there's a little opportunity for Lisa Ashton if she can get a few trebles on the board. She gets one double treble 20. Gets another treble 20 now for the 180. And gets a 140 to leave herself 265. Hunt here on 314. Can he get something similar? He gets 100 and still just puts a little bit of pressure here on Lisa Ashton, who is going to have to try and get a few hundred scores herself. And she gets a treble 20, gets another one. She's on for a 180 and she gets another 140. And the standard of this set has been fantastic so far. Both players are really doing well in this set. I would have probably said they're both averaging above 100 in this third leg of the third set. And with a 125, Ashton has a chance to check out, which she won't be able to now, unfortunately, but she can leave herself with a good finish. 93 off a score will leave her with 32, which means a big fish is going to be needed by Hunt. Gets the first treble 20 and doesn't get the other treble 20 he needed. So double 16 required here for Lisa Ashton to go 2-1 up on legs. She needs double 8. And she gets double 8s. 2-1 to Lisa Ashton. And this is a back and forth table turning match between Hunt and Ashton. And Ashton now starting to take a little bit of a foothold in this third set. And well, Adam Hunt, who was certainly under the cosh in that first original set of the game, is now under the cosh 2 sets later. He's going to have to try and get a good score here to open up. And can only get 59 after his first 3 darts. The current averages, Hunt just averaging above 100 at 100.65. And Lisa Ashton currently averaging around 95. So she's keeping very consistent with her averages. As for Adam Hunt, it's decreased just a little bit, but he's still just above the 100. In fact, he's just gone under 100 now, down at 99.88. But Ashton here on 370. Really needs... Oh, it's poor there. 5 in a treble 1 and only gets 28 there. A real let-off for Adam Hunt, who could just start to run away with things in this leg if he can get a decent score. And he can only get 59 himself, which you could say is now a let-off for Lisa Ashton. After only hitting 28, she needs to try and get at least a decent treble on the board. She gets 20. And another 20. And only a 1. And well, the standard here just dwindled a little bit from these players. It's a bit of a rare moment where both Hunt and Ashton are just having a bit of an off moment. And Hunt does get 96 there to leave himself at 228. And Lisa Ashton currently at 301. Needs to get a treble on the board. She gets 20 and 19. And only an 18, leaving a 57. Very unlucky there. And wow, that's even worse from Hunt. Gets a 1 with his first dart, currently at 228. And very nervous indeed. We've had a new subscriber, by the way. Thank you to whoever subscribed. It's very greatly appreciated indeed. Gareth Bale Hart from me. Absolutely fantastic to see some new faces in the stream, as always. But Hunt down at 200 here. Lisa Ashton at 244. She gets a 20. And that's a poor score. Only gets a 4 there. And is that pressure starting to build on Lisa Ashton? She needs a treble and she doesn't. And she's down to 200 as well. And Hunt here, who's had multiple chances to capitalise on Ashton's mistake, only gets 60. Lisa Ashton here really been let off, you have to say, after a few disappointing darts, and she needs to get a treble of her own now. Gets 20, gets another 20, and only gets 58. As I said before, it is a little bit of a set here for both of the players where maybe nerves are kicking in a little bit, but 140 for Hunt here. He's got a treble 19, now needs a treble 17, which he doesn't get, and he gets a treble 14. Knocks him down by 116 to 24, which means Ashton here is going to have to try and check out the 142. She gets a treble 20, needs a double 16. And in the end there, she's not going to be able to check out, which means Adam Hunt on a double 12 has a chance to equal it up in this third set. Gets a 12, now needs a double 6. And gets the double 6, and well, this has certainly been a very tight game indeed, and I've just heard that was 24 darts that was hit in that original kind of leg there. Really poor from both of the players, and of course you could say maybe nerves kicking in very slightly, but as it currently stands, 2 legs apiece, 1 set apiece as well. It just proves how tight this game has really been so far. Hunt and Ashton really getting out the best of each other in this game, and it's going to be interesting to see how this goes on. With the final deciding leg here, of course, whoever wins this is going to be in the driving seat for that last set. And after 6 darts, Adam Hunt is down to 358, and Lisa Ashton just hitting her 3 darts now. She gets 2 20s, 3 20s, which means after 6 darts, she's down at 409. Treble 20 here for Adam Hunt. Can't get another one, but can get a very decent score of 99 there. Drops him down to 259. As for Lisa Ashton here at 409, she's got a bit of work to do herself. She needs to get another treble 20, and she gets 100 to knock herself down to 309. Much better from Lisa Ashton. She's slowly improving as this game goes on. As for Hunt, he gets 99 once again. Very consistent with his scores right now. Probably wants a little bit more than the 99 that he's got. Ashton here, 220s again. Only a 19, and as it currently stands, Hunt has a big chance to get the set to his name. Apparently it's 1-1 now. Liverpool dominated, shows what one counter-attack does for Tottenham. Mad. 1-1. Who scored? You'll have to tell me in the chat, but only 60 there for Hunt. He's obviously got at least another 3 match darts, which means he's down to 100. As for Ashton, a little bit further behind at 250. She needs to get 2 trebles at least here. She's not going to get. She's only going to get a chance at 1, and she only gets 60, which means once again here Hunt has a chance at 6 match darts. He's got the treble 20, needs the double 20, now needs double 10, and doesn't get the double 10. But don't worry, because if you're a Hunt fan, he's got another 3 match darts with Lisa Ashton down at 190. 20 here for Ashton, and a 1, and you've got to say a little bit here that Ashton certainly losing a bit of the rhythm that she had in the first set and the second set of the game, and it's really starting to show maybe not necessarily tiredness, but that rhythm has gone, and Hunt here only hits 10, which means a little opportunity for Ashton to check out the 150, and if she can check it out here, it'd be a big opportunity for her to have a little bit of belief in herself and a bit of a rhythm again. She's going to have to go for it. She gets 20, which means she won't be able to check out, but can put a little bit more pressure on Hunt. She gets 90 in the end to leave herself down at 40. And double 5 needed by Hunt, which he gets indeed. And Adam Hunt gets the third set on the board. The second for Hunt on the evening. And Lisa Ashton who certainly has dwindled a little bit with her form and rhythm in this game, is under the cosh now to get something back in this game. And you have to say, do you know what? It has been a very good game so far, but ultimately it's getting a little bit tricky for Lisa Ashton here. It's getting a little bit tricky. And Son scored, which is interesting to see. Good to see with the stream, Austin. This is my favourite shirt of his. And Hunt here, averaging 93. Lisa Ashton, averaging 88. It shows how both of these players have just certainly dwindled from that original really explosive first set. Full of passion and really good moments from both Ashton and Hunt. But ultimately now it's started to turn into a little bit of a slower match in terms of the pacing and the finishing. But Ashton down here at 201. Hunt at 333. Gets a treble 19. Gets another 19. And gets himself 135. 133. Oh, sorry. Apologies about yawning. Gym makes me tired. But Ashton here at 201. Gets herself down to 101 with 100. And if Hunt can do something similar here, then it'll put a little bit of pressure on her. But he can only get a 20, a 1 and a 19. And well, it gives her a little bit of an opportunity here to be able to maybe have 6 match darts. She gets 20 and a treble 19, which means she needs double 12. And oh, it's a lovely 101 checkout. Fantastic indeed there for Lisa Ashton. And she gets a leg to an aim. And she is potentially a step closer to getting an equalising set. But there's a long way to go in this one. The legend just saying in the chat, bad round for Lisa there. It definitely was indeed, although she's got a leg to an aim here, and hopefully that gives her a little bit of belief that she can get another set to an aim. Hunt here, though, looking for a 180. We haven't had one in a while, and he only gets to 140, which is a real shame because I was about to get Kirk Bevin's 180 sound up there. I was getting excited, but unfortunately just misses it. But a very good 101 finish there, and it's been a tough game for both of them. They're both making each other work hard for the victory. And ultimately here, Hunt, once again, trying for the 180, but can only get himself 137, which isn't a bad score anyway, as he gets himself down to 139. Ashton here at 268. Gets herself 220s and 60 overall to drop herself down to 208. A little bit of a advantage here for Hunt going into this second leg of the 4th set. The legend saying that Lisa can still win, it's possible. Oh, he certainly is. I mean, you've only got to look at the game today between Chris Dobie and Jeff Smith. You know, Chris Dobie was 2 sets down and looking like he was going to be knocked out. And he came all the way back in the game and won it, which was a brilliant match to watch. But Hunt here on double 16, he hits it first time and he gets a leg back to his name. It's 1 leg apiece here in this 4th set. And he's not giving up, Adam Hunt. He wants to get to that finish line as quick as possible. And Lisa Ashton here only starting with a 45. Really poor score there, and already gives a little bit of a momentum to Adam Hunter, Adam Hunt, who can get 96 after his first 3 darts. Ashton here just under the cosh a little bit now as the game just gets further and further away from her as time passes. Chris saying, I'm glad we're playing much better than we did away to Fulham, of course. Good start so far. I guess you'd probably take a point against Spurs. It's not a bad result. It means neither of you get further away from each other. But in terms of players getting away from each other right now, Lisa Ashton's just closed that gap. She's got 137 there to leave her with 262. Adam Hunt at 265. Gets himself a treble 20. He needs another one here. Just takes a moment to compose himself. And in the end only gets 98. The legend in the chat saying how long of the game, the average will lower down so far. Absolutely. I think he's one of those where realistically it's very, very rare where a game is going to continue pace-wise for the entire thing. I think probably one of the only games I can remember in recent years was Van Gogh and Van Barneveld, where it was just constant, non-stop action. But especially in round 1 as well. A lot of these players aren't going to be able to keep up the momentum for the entire game. But Ashton here at 127 needs treble 19. Now needs a ball for a 127 checkout. And she hits, I believe, a 7 and leaves herself with 43, which means Adam Hunt here needs a 7, double 4, on a 65. And he misses it. And leaves Ashton here a chance to take the lead in this set. 2 legs to 1. If she can check out this 43, she needs 11 and double 16. Gets the 11, now needs double 16. And it's a lovely dart there from Lisa Ashton. Put right into the middle of the bed. And Ashton takes the lead once again in this fourth set of the game. Although Hunt here trying to reply with a 180 instantly in the next leg as he looks to try and get the win. Who do you think will win this? I think in terms of who will win the competition, I think in terms of this game, I think Hunt will go on and win it. But I think it's going to be a tight one. In terms of the competition, I think I said Gerwin, Price, Mankel, Van Gerwen final. Van Gerwen wins. But to be honest, with us not seeing every player yet, I think it's very hard to tell who's going to be on top and who looks the better players so far. Because, I mean, if we're going on that, then I'd be saying Chris Dobie to win it because he looks better than Peter Wright. But ultimately, I think I'm going to go Michael Van Gerwen, Going Price final. But Hunt down at 1-2-1 here. Lisa Ashton way back at 3-2-5. She gets 137 to close the gap to 188. But Hunt here with a little bit of a gap between himself and Ashton has a chance to equalise this up and potentially take it to a final potential leg. Well, he's down to double 18 required, which means Ashton here needs to get a very good score. She gets a treble 20, gets another 20, and gets 100 to leave herself at 88. If you're new to the stream, by the way, there's a lot of you in here right now. If you've enjoyed the watch along so far, as Hunt gets the double 18 to make it 2 legs apiece, to case to a potential deciding leg to decide the set. If you're new, as always, do leave a like and subscription if you've enjoyed the watch along so far. But, oh, she's not giving up with a 5 because she gets 180 on the board and she's on for a 9-darter. Let's not get too excited because I remember Fallon Sherritt last year being on for a 9-darter. Well, she steps up to the oche here. Gets the treble 20. And she gets the 20. And, oh, it gets the excitement tingling a little bit, doesn't it, when you see that first treble 20 go in and the excitement kicks in. But ultimately there, she's down to 181 after 6 darts. Very impressive there from Ashton. And if she can get this set on the board, it will make things very interesting going into that final set. She's got treble 20 and 2 20s, means she's down to 81. Hunt all the way back at 346. She's got at least 6 darts here to check out that 81. Can she do it? Treble 19, double 12 required. She gets the treble 19. She needs the double 12. And oh, it's a beautiful dart there at the double 12. And Lisa Ashton stays in the game, stays in the championship. And we're going to a deciding set. And both of these players just can't seem to get away from each other in this round 1 World Darts Championship fixture. And we're going to a final set decider. Remember that if this game does get into a sudden death situation, we will not see a tie-break. It will just be a leg to decide it at the end, which is an absolute fucking bollocks rule in my opinion, but they've got rid of the sudden death kind of situation. It is literally going to be, if the legs are at 2 apiece, it will go to a 5th and final leg, and whoever wins it takes the game, which is a real shame indeed. The legend in the chat saying, Michael Van Gogh, and I hope there is now crowd. Well, fingers crossed. I think the next time we should see a crowd would be the 30th of November, December. Not November, we're in fucking December. Should be the 30th of December. So if we do, then we should hopefully see fans back for the 4th round, which would be very nice indeed. In terms of where I'm from Sheffield. How about yourself in the chat? Tell us in the chat, of course, where you're from. It's always nice to hear where everybody's from indeed. But as he currently stands, Ashton here at 130, Adam Hunt at 261, just dropped his dart, so just going to compose himself here a second, and does very well to get 100 in the end. But Ashton here at 130, starting to feel like Adam Hunt's feeling the pressure a little bit, which is certainly expected in a match like this. But Lisa Ashton gets 75 to leave herself down at 55 while Hunt's at 161. Oh, but he could get a 161 out here, and he needs the bull, and well, he's nowhere near, unfortunately for him. And Lisa Ashton has a chance here for a break of throw. She needs to get 55. She only gets a 2, and she's not going to be able to check out unless she gets the double 20. And she can't, which means Adam Hunt at 47 has a chance to check out here. Gets the 7, needs the tops, and gets the tops. And that is a big, big leg for Adam Hunt. It could change the entire complexion of this fixture. And Adam Hunt takes the lead in this final deciding set. And just as Lisa Ashton was getting a flow and getting a rhythm to this game, she's let Adam Hunt straight back into it. And well, very, very nervy indeed. And now his pressure's building because Adam Hunt has just got himself 180 on the board. He's on for a 9-darter. We certainly would love to see a 9-darter early on in this competition. But, oh, here comes Lisa Ashton. She can only get 125 after 2 treble 20s, and Hunt himself will not be on for the 9-darter, sadly. And the legends from the Netherlands. Nice to see a lot of people from around the world come in this stream. It's always fantastic. And by the way, I've had a few new subscribers as well. We're now up to 1,345 subscribers. So a big thank you to any of you which have subscribed. Very greatly appreciated indeed for all the new subs. We're 5 subs away from 1,350, which is absolutely fucking sick. Austin's from San Francisco. Good to see you in the stream. What time is it in San Francisco? Because, of course, here right now it's nearly 9 o'clock at night. I'm guessing it's... well, I'm not going to guess because I'll probably be horribly wrong. But what time is it down in San Francisco? In terms of the scores right now, Ashton at 87 and Hunt at 121. Ashton's going to have a chance here to check out this 87. Treble 17, double 18. She can make up for that leg. She gets the treble 17. She gets the double 18. Brilliant from Lisa Ashton to check out that 87. And she's not giving up here. 1 leg apiece. What a game this is. What a match and what a tournament. And Lisa Ashton really giving it her all in this game. And she just does not want to give up in this fixture. What a fantastic game this has been so far. And it's such a topsy-turvy game. You don't know who's going to win it. 12:51 PM. Oh, wow. Nice and early in the afternoon there. Mad, isn't it? With the amount of people that come from around the world to watch streams, it's always awesome to see like different people come from around the world. But yeah, it's 8:52 PM here at night, and it's what a day it's been. What a lovely day of darts, I have to say. It's been a fantastic day of action, and I can't wait because I won't be doing tomorrow's morning session, which will be the session with Daryl Gurney, so I won't be live for that, but I will be live for the 6 o'clock session, which will see Jose D'Souza come up against Ross Smith in round 2. So I won't be live with the afternoon session. I'll be live tomorrow at 6 GMT with that next session, so a little bit of a break in the morning for me, but be interested to see, of course, what happens in that evening session. As for now, though, 125 for Hunt leaves him at 199. Lisa Ashton at 295. She's going to have to get a few trebles on the board here to keep the pressure on Adam. And ultimately here, she only gets 60 and really lets him off the hook slightly. As for the legend, it's 9:52 there, so just an hour ahead, which is not too bad. 133 though for Hunt. Drops him down to 66. Ashton here, of course, at 235 gives at least Hunt another chance to be able to check out, but she's got a treble 20 near 20. She gets 105 to leave herself down at 130. As for Hunt, needs double 6 and can't get it, which means Ashton here has a very slim chance of the 130. She's had a few decent shots today. She gets the treble 20. She gets another treble 20. Chance for the double 5. Oh, and she's bust a score. Oh. And that is painful for her because now Hunt at the double 6 misses the first dart and gets it. And oh, it's so unlucky for Lisa Ashton, who busts the 130, and Adam Hunt gets that second leg to his name, and it's a real chance here for Hunt to win the game. What a match this has been. But oh, you have to feel for Lisa Ashton there. 130. Busts a score, and you could see the reaction from her. She knew it could potentially cost her here, and we are down to a potential final leg unless Ashton can get herself back into this. She's currently about 1 leg down. She needs it because if Hunt gets the next leg, he wins the game and goes into round 2. And the pressure's building now. Ashton at 230. Hunt at 356. The cards are in her hands right now. She's got treble 20, another 20, and gets 100. She's down at 130, and she will probably have a chance here to have at least 6 darts at that 130 with Hunt at a 356. Hunt gets himself 96 to drop him down to 260, which means she's got plenty of opportunities to be able to get the 130. She gets the treble 20. She gets a treble 1, which is not a massive problem considering she has another 3 darts. And gets a treble 17, makes up for that mistake to put herself down at 16. Hunt here at 260. Could get a 140, and he does indeed, so the pressure really is on here. Double 8 required for Ashton. She misses her first dart. She misses her second and makes it really awkward for herself, but good markers. And she misses the third dart. And, well, if Hunt can get this 120, what a way to finish the game. For the match. Gets the treble 20. Gets the 20. Double 20 to win. And gets the double 20. What? A 120 finish there from Adam Hunt. And, well, she fought all the way, but ultimately, in the end, Lisa Ashton just couldn't beat Adam Hunt. But what a game this was. And both players give themselves a pat on the back. Really, really good game. And just a real shame for her there. She had a good opportunity to win the game. And Adam Hunt there with a 120 checkout goes through to the next round. What a game that was. Adam Hunt wins 3-2. What a game that was. What a fantastic match of darts to watch. Lisa Ashton there with a really, really good opportunity to go through to the second round of the World Darts Championship. But ultimately, in the end there, Adam Hunt with a 120 finish to go through to the next round of the World Darts Championship. It was a fantastic finish indeed. It was really, really well worked. And he'll be playing off against Jamie Hughes in the next round, and that should be a very interesting game indeed. Of course, Jamie Hughes in the second round. I think Hunt could certainly go into that full of confidence and full of belief, and I tell you what, should be an interesting game for that one for who goes through to the next round, because it'd be a very even game, I would have said. But Lisa Ashton there, you know, you have to give her credit. She did very well indeed. She fought all the way to the end, and that 130 that she bust just cost her slightly, and you could see the reaction on her face when she busted. I think she knew herself that it was going to be very, very hard to get back into that match after busting the 130. But ultimately, she continued fighting on, and in the end, she just couldn't be the second female to get through to the second round of the World Darts Championship after Fallon Sherrock. But of course, we do have another female darts player in the competition, Dita Hedman. She'll be on in a few days' time. I think she plays on the Friday night, I think. No, it isn't. It's on the Saturday night at 6 o'clock when she plays Andy Bolton. What a game that one's going to be. But ultimately, very lucky there for Lisa Ashton. She tried her best. But unfortunately, as Chris has put in the chat, no fairy tale story for the women, which is a real shame indeed with that game. But we've got one more game to come on the night. Another fantastic fixture still to come. And I'm just going to very quickly update the score. Of course, it finished 3-2 between those. Hunt and Ashton, and as you can see on the right hand side of your screen with the order of play, you can also see there's been a few more games on tonight, which unfortunately I didn't get to cover. But Max Hopp beating Mathers 3-0, comfortable result for the German against the Australian. Callum Rides beating Bailey 3-1, that was a very good game indeed. Callum Rides, sorry, looking all right actually in that game, and Bailey did give him a few testing moments, but ultimately in the end just couldn't beat Rides. And then, of course, we saw there a moment ago Adam Hunt with a big 3-2 victory over Lisa Ashton. And well, it'd be a real shame for her, because when you look at that side of the bracket for Lisa Ashton, she would have probably thought, I've got a very good chance of maybe going through, and then a potential chance going through to round 3, but she just couldn't in the end. But we've got one more game to come up on the night, And what a game this is. I am really looking forward to this match. It is going to be a very good game between Glen Durrant. The fuck is that? Between Glen Durrant and Diogo Portela. Of course, you will know that Portela played on that first night in the World Darts Championship and probably gave us the shock of the tournament so far. And I guess that's not really hard when there's not been many shocks on the cards yet. But played an incredible game against Steve Beaton, who he beat 3-0 in the end. And the one important thing here, in terms of current form, you know, Glen Durrant hasn't played in the World Darts Championship yet, so this is going to be his first game and a real good opportunity for him to show himself off at the tournament. But he's been out of form ever since he won the Premier League of Darts, that fantastic tournament, of course. He seems to have gone on a little bit of a slump, and we tend to usually see players come back to the very best at the World Darts Championship, but he's going to have a very, very tough test on his hands because Portela, who was fantastic against Steve Beaton, of course, if you saw his interview yesterday, he said he was originally thinking about quitting darts altogether. And I think, hopefully, that gives the Brazilian boy a little bit of belief that he should continue on in darts because he was fantastic against Steve Beaton. He was given a standing ovation by the 1,000 fans at the stadium for beating Steve Beaton, of course, in that game yesterday. But this is a much bigger test. You know, as much as Steve Beaton is a good player, the gap between Beaton and Durrant is quite big. They might not be massively away from each other in the world rankings, but there is a massive gap between them. And Glen Durrant has experience at the highest level. He's a much better player than Steve Beaton, and no doubt will be looking at himself thinking, I could quite easily go on and win the World Darts Championship if I'm on my A game. But that's the important thing. Can he bring his A game, or will Diogo Portela maybe bring us an even bigger shock on the cards in this second round fixture? We'll find out in a second, of course. That's the next game coming up. But as I said, won't be live tomorrow with the afternoon session at 12 o'clock. So there won't be a live stream for that. However, from 6 o'clock, there will be a live stream to cover the 4 games going on. Luke Woodhouse taking on Jamie Lewis. That's going to be an interesting game to watch. Ron Muhlenkamp taking on Boris Kerkmar. That's another round 1 fixture. Ryan Searle, one of the underdogs that I said in this competition, is taking on Danny Lauby, while Jose de Souza will be taking on Ross Smith in that fixture. Of course, we saw Ross Smith play earlier on this afternoon, actually. He'll be facing Ross Smith in round 2. I'll be live from about 6:10 tomorrow for that evening session. But, of course, we've got Glen Durrant coming up in a little moment in his game against Diogo Portela. In terms of my prediction for the game, I'm going to go Durrant 3, Portela 1. But I wouldn't be surprised if Portela goes for it and really gives him a very tough game indeed. But Chris has put in the chat my tip to be runner-up playing next. That's why I put Durrant as my runner-up. If he brings his A game, he's hard to beat. Showed that when winning the Premier League. And that's exactly. He's a fantastic player on his day. And if he can bring his A game and really, you know, just that's it. That's all I was going to say. Bring his A game. That's all he has to do at this stage because he's a great player to watch. But ultimately, over the last few weeks, he's just been a little bit frustrating at times. He got knocked out of the group stages of the Ball Sports World Grand Prix and hasn't really played much since then, to be honest. So I think for me, it is one of those where hopefully we do get to see the A game of Glen Durrant. But I do think Portela, you know, he's an alright player, Portela. He's certainly improving. We saw yesterday how good he was. I just think the standard between Beaton and Durrant is just a little bit higher. No offence to Steve Beaton in any way, shape or form. He's a very good player. Just, you know, Glen Durrant is a little bit better. So that game is going to get underway in just a moment's time. I'm just going to take a quick break for a second before this game gets underway. A quick toilet break, that is. And I'll be back in about a minute or two. So stick around because the next game coming up is Durrant taking on Portela. Back in a minute. I've just seen it, Chris. I've just seen it. Rotherham 1-0 up against Blackburn. You fucking love to see it. Right, I'm back. Apologies about that. I don't like to tend to usually take breaks on stream, but with these ones, of course, with the darts tournaments, it does tend to be quite long streams, so I do have to take breaks here and there. Of course, being sat in a chair for God knows how long usually gets fairly irritating, but Rotherham 1-0 up, you love to see it. Fantastic indeed. Makes my night even better if we can go on and bloody win the game, but as it currently stands, we are, of course, waiting for that round 2 fixture between Glen, Durrant and Diogo Portela. And you could see the emotion from Portela after that game yesterday. The tears on stage, the emotions that he was feeling. It's one of those where, ultimately, it's what you love to see at the World Darts Championship. It brings out the very best in players. It brings out the emotions. And it was lovely to see. Of course, you know, Steve Beaton is a great player on his day. A lot of players will have certainly, you know, watched him in the past, maybe even looked up to him. And ultimately, it's one of those where you have to give him credit because he completely outclassed Steve Beaton yesterday. Like, completely outclassed him. It was literally not even a competition, if we were being honest with you. But it should be on in a few minutes, just taking a little bit of time to build up to this one. Well, they tend to usually do with these second round fixtures. But I'm just going to have a quick look at the football scores because I'm not going to lie, I haven't really seen what's been going on in the football today. So for any of you that are wanting to have a quick update on the football, I'm just going to have a quick look at the Championship Sky Bet, of course, and just see what's going on there because I know Reading were playing Norwich. So currently, 1-1 between Reading and Norwich, which is not bad for either side. Cardiff beating Birmingham 3-2. That's a good result for Cardiff. Of course, we're beating Blackburn Rovers 1-0, which is fantastic to see. And a few other results elsewhere going on. Any other games going on in the Premier League tonight? Or is it just the game between Liverpool? Oh no, there's also Fulham-Brighton. Brighton 1-0 up against Fulham, which means I think... no, they don't. I was about to say I think they go above Arsenal, but they don't in the end because Arsenal got a point today. And then Palace 1-0 up against West Ham in a London fixture. So a few decent scores across the board. But in terms of the scores, what are you predicting for this game in the chat? Chris is saying 3-0 to Durrant. Andy's sticking with me and saying 3-1 to Duzza. As I said before, I'm going for 3-1 as well. I think personally it's going to be one of those games where I think Portela will be a little bit outclassed to a certain extent in terms of the quality of Durrant, but you never know what Durrant is really going to turn up because as much as Durrant is a good player, we've seen recently he's struggled a little bit here and there, and well, it's certainly going to be a big test for him indeed. But this game should be underway in a little moment. I didn't realise how long it would take for them to get ready for this game. It feels like bloody forever. It genuinely feels like forever, but yeah, just let's get on with the game. We wanna go straight into it. It's one of those where I don't know what to feel with the time. Let's have a look at tomorrow's fixtures, of course, and have a quick talk through those. So tomorrow, the morning session that is going on, the afternoon session, whatever you want to call it. Madars Rasma takes on Toru Suzuki, of course, not the Suzuki that we know, the female player. This is a different Suzuki. Actually, they're making his debut at the PDC World Darts Championship, so very good there to see another debutant taking part in this competition. Mike De Decker, fantastic name he's got, against Edward Folks. Ryan Murray against Lauren Ilagan, who is certainly a character in darts. And then Daryl Gurney facing William O'Connor. That is going to be a fantastic game to watch, of course. Northern Irish, Daryl Gurney taking on Republic of Irish, William O'Connor. Looking forward to that game, actually. And then the evening session, which is the one I'll be covering live, Luke Woodhouse taking on Jamie Lewis, Ron Muhlenkamp taking on Boris Kakmar, Ryan Searle taking on Daniel Albee, and Jose de Souza, a special one, taking on Ross Smith. So that will be a good game indeed. But good to say that the players are now coming out onto the oche, and we will be getting underway in a moment with the final game of the night, round 2, seeing Glen Durrant taking on Portela, the Brazilian. Fantastic to see. He's pretending as if the fans were there. Good to see a few characters in the darts. And he's bringing out the dance moves again. Well, he might not be Noah Vandenberg, but he's bringing them out. Oh, we love to see it. Bless him. You make the most of the situation. fair play to him. Do you know what I mean? You've got to enjoy that time on the stage. When Scottish there, got to enjoy that time on the stage. But this is a big test for Glen Durrant. What a game this is going to be. The World Darts Championship. Durrant, what a game this is going to be. Andy's predicted Tuzza to go 2 sets up, then to go to sleep and lose third set, but pick it up again, win it 3-1, which would be a very Glen Durrant thing to do, but he's out. What a game this is going to be. Glen taking on Diogo Portela in the final game. Round 2, of course, this is the third round 2 fixture of the tournament, but obviously what a character Portela's been so far in this competition, and as I said, there's no fans there, but he's making the most of the atmosphere and the situation. Of course, hopefully, we can get fans in the stadium in 2 weeks' time. It would be nice indeed, but this is a very different ball game to what he originally had against Steve Beaton yesterday, and it's a massive match, and there's going to be a lot of pressure on Glen Durrant to go out there and win this. So without further ado, let's get ready for the final game, as Duzza takes on Portela. Well, here we go. Portela, 500 to 1 to win the tournament. Of course, beat Steve Beaton 3-0 in that last game. What a fantastic player he was in that match. As for Glen Durrant, he's 28 to 1 to win. His best run was last year in the quarterfinals, and he's certainly improved over the last few years as a player. Starting to become one of the better players out there in the PDC, and ultimately has a real chance here to prove to himself that his low dwindling confidence recently was just a blip, and he can try and get a good victory against a strong looking Diogo Portela. So we've got a few practice darts here for the players. Paul Hinks, of course, the match referee. No doubt we'll be seeing some 180s in this match. Be very nice to see indeed, but we should be underway in just a moment with this game. If you're new as always, do leave a like and subscription. We're 5 subs away from 1,350. And if you do leave a sub, you get a Gareth Bale heart from me. So we love a Gareth Bale heart. But what we do love is a good round 2 fixture. And we are now underway between Glen Durrant, or Duzza as he's known, and Diogo Portela. Of course, Durrant ranked 12th in the world, and he really needs a big confidence booster. Of course, he's been struggling quite recently in the competitions over the last few weeks, Duzza. Of course, knocked out, as I said, at the Border Sports Grand Prix in the group stages. But only treble 5, a 20 for Portela, and a 1. 26 there to start from Portela. Not a good start for the Brazilian. Although Durrant at 4-4-2 wasn't necessarily a great start from the Englishman himself. Gets 2 20s on the board here. And only gets 41. And well, it's not the greatest of starts here from both players. But, of course, we're only about a minute into this game. 2 20s on the board here for Portela. 59, which means he will go down to 4.06 and Durrant at 4.01 here. Need to really get that first treble on the board, and here we go. Does it with that first treble 20 of the game. Gets another one. Is he on for a 180? The answer is no, he's not. He gets 140, but it's a good confidence builder in these early stages of this second round fixture between Durrant and Portela. However, Portela here goes one better and gets 140, and you can see his reactions. He's a passionate player, Portela, and the passion will come out, and no doubt very similar to how going Price was against Durrant. If the passion starts coming out, we might see Durrant start to play with it as well a little bit, which is always fun to see. 2 players going at each other with passion. Of course, Nathan Aspel and Going Price being 2 very passionate players in the game. I'd love to see them come up at some point against each other in this competition. But Durrant currently at 219, Portela at 2. I think he's currently sat at 177. I was waiting for the score to come up on the screen. 177 there for Portela. As for Duzza, he's at 219, gets a 20, treble 20 and a 19. And he's got a potential opportunity here to be able to check out with that 120. Portela here at 177 needs to just get a few trebles on the board. Gets a treble 5 and a 20, needs another treble, and he gets the outer ball. which means he's down to 117. Can Durrant get the 120? Gets the treble 20. Good start here. Then gets the 20. Now needs the double 20 for a 120 finish. And just under the double 20, which means he's down, of course, 220. Portela on 117. Starts off with a 20. Needs treble 19, which he doesn't get, unfortunately, which means he won't be able to check out here. Does it with a chance to get the first leg on the board with a double 10. Can the man from Middlesbrough get the first leg of the game? He gets a 10, which means he needs double 5. And he gets the double 5. The first leg is on the board. It's Duzza who takes the first leg of the game. 1-0 to the Englishman. And Portela there. Probably a little bit frustrated with that first leg. It's early days. You just don't want to let Durrant get a foothold of this match and start steamrolling. That's the important thing, especially in these latter rounds when you're coming up against some of the world's best players. You don't want to let them get a foothold of these games and push forward. But 140 there for Durrant means he's down to 3-6-1 after 3 darts. As for Portela, only got 60 in his first 3. And he's just struggling to hit a treble in this game so far. Apologies for yawning. I have been drinking gin. It makes me very tired. It's probably not a good idea to drink gin, is it? Let's be honest. But it's one of those where I don't mind drinking gin. It is nice. But what's nice here is Durrant getting a 60. Leaves a little bit of an advantage here for Portela to get a few extra trebles on the board and put the pressure on the Englishman. However, he only gets 2 20s. And his other dart falls out. And that's really lucky there for the Brazilian. Goes down to 3-4-3. Durrant, or does that even, on 3-0-1. It's a very slow leg, this one. Both players not really being able to get a good start to this second leg so far. It's a little bit of a slog, this one, but ultimately it will work in the favour of Portela. He was just slowly building himself up here. Gets the 20, then gets a treble 20, then gets another 20, which means he's now down to 2-4-3. What can Duzza do to reply at 2-1-6 right now? Gets a treble 5. Gets a 20. Really needs a good treble on the board here. And he gets that with treble 19. Oh, God, sorry. Which puts it down to 1-2-4. I shouldn't be yawning on stream. It's very rude of me. I apologise. I was up at 8 AM this morning. But we got a chance here for the first 180 in the match. Portela, 2 treble 20s. He's going to opt to go for the treble 19 instead. And he's down to 104. Does it at 1-2-4. He's going to try and check it out here. Gets 20. Gets an 18, which means he won't be able to check out, unfortunately. Gets himself 63 to lay him off to 61. Portela at 104 here. Can he potentially get a very good check out? Gets a treble 8, which is not the treble he wanted. Now he needs treble 20. He goes for the treble 16 instead. Doesn't get it. And ultimately means that Durrant has another chance to come up with that 61 to check out in this game. Goes for the bull. Gets a 3, which means he needs a double 4. Which he gets, and well, he didn't want to hit the bull in the end there, but ultimately, it worked out in his favour, and that 64 finish with the awkward bull means that Durrant goes up by 2 legs in this first set, and my back is absolutely killing. Oh my lord, I've been sat down on a chair for God knows how long today. Not good at all, but what a lovely, lovely set there from Glen Durrant. Just mistakenly went for the bull. And it worked out in his favour. Very, very well indeed. And Portela here, not really had much of a chance to get into this game so far. And he's going to have to do something here if he wants to keep Glen Durrant at bay. He's currently 4-4-4 after 3 darts. Glen Durrant at 4-5-7 after his first 3 darts of this third leg of the first set. And it's a very, very slow build-up game, this one. You can see both players just taking their time, you know, keeping calm, keeping their composure. and not rushing any darts. But he is struggling right now, Portela. Cannot get any doubles or trebles, and ultimately is letting Durrant have a very easy first set of the game as he gets a treble 20. Can he get another one? He does indeed. Chance maybe for the first 180 of the match. Gets a 140 in the end there to put him down to 2-2-1. Finally gets a treble 20 here, Portela. Only gets a 20 this time. And gets 100 to his name. And it's a shame because if Portela can get his doubles or trebles going, it makes for a much more interesting game. But he just can't seem to hit anything right now. Struggling on those doubles and trebles. And, well, really giving it fairly easy for Glen Durrant to kind of steamroll on in this first set. Durrant down to 91. Portela at 286, which means he's going to have at least 6 darts here to check out that 91, as Portela only gets 45. So plenty of time here for Durrant. He gets a 17. I believe, no, sorry, treble 17. He gets the double 20 and takes the first set. Glen Durrant, comfortable as anything against Diogo Portela, and ultimately the Brazilian will be fuming with himself. Just couldn't seem to hit any doubles or trebles. And Glen Durrant, who's not really had to do much in this game at all so far, takes the lead in this set. He's one set up against Portela, and the Brazilian really has some work to do. It's 1-0 as it currently stands. Back in a moment. And that is the first set of the game between Glen Durrant and Diogo Portela, done and dusted. And well, it was a very easy set there for Glen Durrant. Not really had much to do at all in this game so far. It's been a fairly easy first set for him. Portela just really struggling to be able to get any doubles or trebles on the board here. And although I said Portela played very well against Steve Beaton, it's kind of like the tables have turned pretty much. You know, he's struggling right now to get anything on the board. And Tero's in the chat saying Leeds 5, Newcastle 2. I saw that earlier. Mad game of football that one was. Really good result for Leeds going into that game against Man United at the weekend, but very good result for them. But yeah, in terms of this game between Durrant and Portela, fantastic game so far for Durrant. Not really had to do much at all to be tested by Portela. As I said, he's Brazilian struggling to hit his doubles and trebles, and ultimately Durrant can just steamroll in this game very comfortably and calmly. And well, it's working out alright for him so far. So he's not had much to do in this game. As for Portela, he's got work to do, hasn't he? He's got to try and hit some doubles and trebles, because right now it's not working at all for him. He's struggling big time, and it could be quite easily a whitewash here and a very quick game of darts done and dusted. Fairly quickly between Durrant and Portela. But the players will be back on the stage in the moment. If you are new to the stream, as always, do leave a like and a subscription. We've got plenty more sporting content to come on the channel. We don't just cover darts on here. We do a lot of live football watch-alongs, which we've got plenty of those coming up in the near future. We've also Got some NFL watch-alongs, so if you're a fan of NFL, we've got that coming next year, alongside some F1 watch-alongs, a wrestling podcast on Tuesday, and other sporting content too. So keep your eyes on the Sports Corner as always. But we're about to get back underway in this game between Glen and Portela. As it currently stands, Portela 1-0 down to Durrant, who's had the easiest set of any player in the World Darts Championship so far. He's not been tested by Portela. He's not necessarily been anywhere near Durrant in that first set. And, well, if Duzza wins this second set, you can quite easily see there's been a whitewash and this game being done in the next 20 minutes. But without further ado, both players are back out on the oche. They've had a few practice darts on, of course, on the board. And we're now going to get back underway with Portela starting us off in this second set. Austin said, are you going to be doing NFL games? We are going to be doing, we're looking at doing it, which in fact here, a chance for Portela to get a 180 very quickly. And he just can't, which is a real shame for him. That'd be nice for him to get a 180 after not hitting a treble for a while. But in terms of NFL games, we are going to be doing NFL games in the near future. We had an NFL podcast, the NFL Corner, which was running not too long ago on the channel. That went off for a little bit because of COVID, but the boys are bringing that back next year. And they're looking to do some live NFL watch-alongs as well. So do keep your eyes out for it next year, because that's when they're going to be starting it. But I don't tend to watch NFL, I'm not going to lie. So you probably won't see me on them because I've got no idea what's going on. Darts is my forte, I guess, compared to NFL, which is, I think something that Rowan likes it, which we'll probably get Rowan on at some point. But the other lads, of course, don't tend to watch it nowhere near as much as I do. But yeah, NFL will be on the channel in the near future as well. Which, of course, be nice to see a few more sports on the channel. But after 6 darts here, Diogo Portela gets himself a 140 and 100 to leave himself down at 221. As for Glen Durrant here, currently sat on 306. Nearly gets the treble 19. Gets another 19 for 38. And only gets 58 there with his 3 darts. Very poor indeed. And there we go. Rowan's in the chat. Good to see you, but he says, I think possibly the playoff games will have watch-alongs. So that's what they're looking for. Potentially playoff games for the watch-alongs, which should be very good indeed. But keep your eyes out for that, because I don't know when the playoffs are. I assume they're quite early on next year. Rowan will know a lot more than I do, because he knows NFL's not my forte at all. But Austin's put same with me and darts. It's I'm one of those where I've kind of watched darts for the last year and a half, 2 years now, slowly learning it as I go along, can play it, but not good. But I you know what I mean. It's one of those. I love to play it, but I'm shit at it, if I'm being honest with you. But as it kind of stands, Durrant on 148, Portela on 161, and credit to him, he's finally hitting some trebles, which is good to see. That's what he was struggling on earlier, hitting trebles, and now he starts just getting a bit of a flow to this game, and he's down to 68 here. Does a run 148, and he can't check out, which means Portela has a good opportunity here to try and get a leg to his name and check out this 68. He needs treble 20, double 4. Gets a 20. Could go 8 and tops. He's going to go 16 and double 16 instead. He gets the 16 and doesn't get the double 16, which means there's a chance here for Duzza to check out that 50. He could go 18, double 16. He's going to get a 4, which is not what he wanted. He's going to get 14, which means he's going to have to go for double 16. And he makes a mistake once again, but it seems to be Duzza's night so far, because that mistake, in the end, pays off. It's 1 leg, 1 set to Glen Duzza. And Portela, who did very well there to get himself down to 68, just couldn't get himself a leg to his name, and Duzza is in the lead in this second set already. And Duzza, who, to be honest, I'd be interested to see what his average here, because I don't think his average would be massively high. He's not had much to do at all in this game, and I think you can see his frustration building as well in terms of his poor scores. It's one of those where he's not really looked that good, to be honest, but Portela's not looked good either, so it's made it easier for Duzza to be able to steamroll in this game without being impressive. But a 40 there from Glen Duzza to start off, but only 45 for Portela means that Duzza's led off with that 40 start. Duzza here gets a 20, then gets a 1, and, well, he's going through a little bit of a bad patch here. Duzza only gets 40, and, Well, the frustration's starting to build on his face here a little bit. Not happy after getting 2 40s. And Portela has an opportunity here to maybe break away from Durrant's 4-2-1. He gets 2 20s on the board. Really needs a treble here. And he does get a treble, but only a treble 5. Which means Portela's down at 401. Duzza has been led off again. What can he do here? It's been a very sloppy game, this one. But Durrant gets a treble 20. Then gets a 20. Really needs another 20 here. He gets 100 in the end there. Goes down to 3-2-1. And it has been a very slow game, this one. Not the most enjoyable one to watch so far. And I've just seen as well, I'm pretty sure, that my local team have just gone 1-1. And they have indeed. That's very frustrating. But I'll take a point. We love a point indeed. But 3-2-1 here for Glen Durrant. Portela at 3-1-8. Does he here trying to go for a 180. Gets a treble 20. Then 20. And then another treble 20 for a 140. I mean, seen right now, Durrant's only averaging 85 in this game. It's not been a very good game for him at all right now. And he's struggling massively. It's a very, very poor game to watch. It's not an enjoyable one. But Portela here at 258. Just lacking behind as well. And Duzza, who can't check out, of course, because he's at 181, only gets 56. And frustration building for both players. They're both annoyed. They're not really getting a great deal of scores on the board. And you can see Durrant more annoyed than Portela, of course. You can see the reaction on his face, but this is a bit of a slog match, isn't it? If we're being honest with you. Not convincing by either player, and you can clearly see that Durrant, who's not been in form recently, is struggling a little bit in this game. And, well, for Portela, if he was a little bit more on form, could have potentially had a bit of a closer game here, but even when he's not on form, Durrant, he's still steamrolling on. So Duzza on 76. Portela on 164. Portela currently standing up, trying to get the 164. Gets a 19. Then gets a 20. And then gets a 25. Which leaves him down at 100. Durrant on a 76. If he can get the 76 cleaned up and get himself a second leg in this second set, then surely he'll be feeling a little bit more relaxed about himself. He needs a double 18. And he's just a little bit higher than that double 18. Which leaves him on 36. Portela on 100. What's he going to do here, the Brazilian? Gets a 20. Needs a treble 20 here, which he gets. Now needs a double 10. Big opportunity for a leg on the board. And he just can't get it. Hits the 10. And Portela's left himself here with 10. Durrant on double 18. First dart goes above the double 18. Second dart's in though, and that's the second leg on the board for Glen Durrant, and he's not been convincing at all, but he's really taking a lead in this match. And you can see he's murmuring to himself, the frustration building, but he's still winning. And that's 5 legs on the bounce for Glen Durrant. And although he's not really been doing great in this game so far, it's not bad to be 5 legs on the bounce, and Portela not really doing much at all, but it's a shame here for Portela, isn't it? Because I don't know whether his confidence has completely dwindled, but in a game like this where Duzza's not doing much, he just needs to get a foothold of himself here, Portela, because he could easily claw his way back into this game. But you can see right now the frustration building with Duzza. He's got the dart in his mouth. He's not happy with a 40, and Portela gets himself a 140 to leave himself 262 after 6 darts. What can Durrant do here? Gets a treble 20. Gets another one. Can we finally have the first 180 of this game? The answer is absolutely yes. Finally, a 180 on the board in this game between Duzza and Portela, and well, it's taken quite a while, but we have won in the end, and Duzza gets himself down to 281. Portela on 262. Good game indeed. Well, I'm saying good game indeed, but that's probably the best part of the game so far. It's been a bit of a slog, hasn't it? Here's Durrant though on a 281. Will that 180 maybe give him a bit more rhythm in this match? Gets a 20, then a double 19, and then a 19 to leave himself down at 185. Portela really needs to get himself a leg on the board because his confidence will certainly be dwindling as this game continues on. But after a great win against Steve Beaton, it's been a very impressive run for him, and there's no shame in going out to the Premier League of Darts winner Glen Durrant now, is there, if we're being honest? 185 here for Durrant, can't check out, while Portela can at a 117. But he can set himself up with a decent score here, gets a treble 20 and a bull, which means he's going to drop down towards that 17. And eventually Duzza leaves himself off with a 58, which means Portela's going to have to try and check out this 117. Pressure on here for the Brazilian. Gets a 20. Gets a treble 19. Needs the double 20 now. Be an impressive 117 check out from the Brazilian. And he just can't check it out. Just under the treble 20. And leaves himself with 20, which means 58 here for Durrant to check out. Gets the 18. Means tops for Duzza to take the second set of the game. And he does indeed. Second set on the board for Duzza, and you can see the clear frustration for the Englishman. He is 2 sets up, but he's frustrated with himself. He's been really poor in this game, and it has been a slog for both players, but ultimately now he's leading this game so far. He's doing very well indeed, and as it currently stands, he's only 1 set away from going through to the 3rd round. It's not a convincing game. It's certainly a bit of a slog, but as it stands, he's 1 set away from going through. Durrant, 2 sets up against Portela. Back in a moment. So that is the second set done between Glen Durrant and Portela. And I could pretty much repeat what I said about 5 minutes ago, put it as a video, and then stick it over the top of this, and it would pretty much be the exact same comments as it currently stands. Glen Durrant is not having a good game. And although the stats right now, are showing him quite easily, winning this match, he's currently 2 sets up. And when you look at it in that respect, he's dominating the game. But ultimately, right now, he's not playing very well at all. But at the end of the day, you can still play him convincingly and still get through to the next round. And well, he's only 1 set away. And if I'm being honest with you, while I'm saying Glen Durrant's been bad, Portela, as much as it was a great win against Steve Beaton, the clear gulf in quality is showing, even if Glen Durrant's still having a bad game. He's struggled to hit doubles, he's struggled to hit trebles, and realistically speaking, this looks like it will end in a whitewash of a 3-0 victory. But that doesn't mean it's a good result for... Well, it does mean it's a good result for Glen Durrant, but it doesn't mean that the way he performed was good. And he will look at himself at the end of this match, and no doubt in that interview afterwards, he will probably say himself that he wasn't sharp enough in this game. He let Portela have maybe a little bit too many opportunities to get into the match, but ultimately at the end of the day, Portela has just been a little bit worse than Glen Durrant, and realistically has really let himself off the hook. But as you can see on the right hand side of the screen, in terms of the order of play, we've had a few more games on today. Max Hopp beating Mathers 3-0, comfortable result there for the German against the Australian. Callum Reid's beating up Bailey 3-1. That was a good game. Bailey doing very well indeed, but ultimately Reid's doing very well in that game. What a match that was between Adam Hunt and Lisa Ashton. 3-2 victory, where Ashton had actually bust a 130, where she had a real opportunity to take it to a deciding set, and ultimately Adam Hunt checking out, I think it was a 120 in the end, to win the game. Really impressive. And then of course we've got this game between Durrant and Portela, which is currently stands is 1 potential set away from finishing, and well, Glen Durrant, who's not looked convincing at all, will certainly, I was about to say certainly won't be bothered about playing rubbish, but I think he will be bothered about playing rubbish. He's a perfectionist at the end of the day, and I think most darts players are perfectionists. They want to try and win the game in the most cleanest and beautiful way possible, and right now, Glen Durrant isn't doing that. He's winning dirty, and in a very bad way. But at the end of it, he'll be able to go home, have a good week of relaxation, or, to be honest, it'll be practice more than anything ahead of his round 3 fixture in about a week's and a half time. But Portela here, still not out of it yet. I mean, it's looking very, very doubtful, but if he can get himself a few legs on the board, you never know. But as it currently stands, 2 sets to Durrant, no sets to Portela. We are about to get underway with this 3rd set in just a moment. The question is, can Portela rock Duzza at the Ali Pali? Well, it could be done in within about 10 minutes. Let's find out what happens here as the players just take a few more practice darts before we go into this potential final set. And, well, Chris said in the chat he thought it was going to end 3-0 to Duzza. And as it currently stands, it definitely is going to be ending 3-0 here, I think. I just need to very quickly check as well. Did my local club get a point in the end, or did we bottle it? Let me have a look. Oh my god, we're still playing on. We're in the 99th minute. Jesus Christ, watch us lose it. 2-1 in the 11th minute of additional time. But either way, we're underway now with the game between Durrant and Portela. That final leg set potentially in the game. Can Durrant get a clean sweep against Portela? He's going to start off here with 50, I think 57 there. Sorry, 58 actually. Not the greatest score in the world, because Portela here already hits a treble 20. Gets another one. Maybe the chance here for the first 180 for the Brazilian. And, well, I had to stop there for a second because the crowd celebrated with a 180. And very unlucky indeed, because his dart would have actually landed in, but it actually bounced one of the darts out. And it is a 120 in the end there for Portela. Very unlucky bounce out from one of his darts. It's a real shame indeed for him. As for Durrant, he's down at 284 here. Portela at 381, of course. Very unlucky with that dart, or else he could have got himself a 180 on the board, which could certainly be a little bit of confidence booster for him. But Portela here at 381 gets himself 48, and I'd like to see the averages here because, I mean, Portela has had a really poor game. He's not really done much to test Durrant at all, and oh my lord, I cannot believe it. I just need to check something. I cannot believe it. Oh my god. Oh, I've just seen it. Basically, I just said a second ago that Rotherham United were going to lose. They lost in the 98th minute. Oh my god. That is absolutely ridiculous. I called it. But what I'm not going to call here is Glen Durrant. It's currently down at 203. Portela at 186. Might be maybe an opportunity here for Duzza to get another leg on the board. He's down at 107. Portela here needs to get a decent few trebles on the board. He gets a treble 20. Gets another 20. Might need a decent little treble here. He does. He gets a treble 18. And he gets 134 if he scores. So Portela's down to 52 here. Duzza at 107. Gets a 20. Needs a treble 17. He doesn't. Which means Portela has a chance at this 52. Can he check it out? It's a 20 and a double 16 on the board here. Big opportunities for the Brazilian. Gets the 20. Double 16. Real opportunity. And he does get it in the end. And it's a first leg on the board for Diogo Portela. Checks out the 52. And while he lets a bit of his frustration out there, he's happy. And he's certainly not out with this game with the way that Durrant's been playing. Very, very good indeed. But yeah, that's painful. Sorry to hear. Oh, it's awful. It was 7 minutes of additional time. And we lost it in the 98th. That's just... You couldn't write it, could you? Bloody football. That's why we love the darts. We hate football. It's rubbish. Hate the sport. Never liked it. But Glen Durrant here. On course for a 180. Gets a 140 as we go into that second leg. As for Portela, on a 477, did really well there to get his first leg, but only gets a 41, which means after 6 darts, he's only down at 436. Really poor there from Portela. Instantly allows Durrant here to get a foothold of this leg. Gets a treble 20. Now gets a 20. And gets himself 140 to leave him down at 221. Portela here is going to have to do something magic if he wants to break the 200 gap between himself and Glen Durrant right now. He gets 20. Gets another 20. And, well, you can see how far the gap is between Portela and Durrant. You would expect here Durrant to be able to take this leg straight from the hands of Portela, no matter what happens here. Durrant at 2-2-1, Portela at 3-7-7. And Duzza only gets 26 here, which certainly gives maybe a little opportunity for Portela to get back into it. He would need to probably get a 180 here, potentially. But big moment for Portela. Gets a 20. 2 double 20s or even trebles will do. Gets another 20 and only gets 60. And he really lets him off there, Durrant, after that poor 26. And currently not right now, Andy, although usually I am roughly about that area, but currently not right now. But Durrant only gets 60 there with a 1-3-5. Portela at 3-1-7, too far behind, which means you would expect Durrant to probably have at least maybe 6 or even 9 darts at that 1-3-5, so he doesn't necessarily have to be desperate in his approach to try and get a finish on a 1-3-5. Here's this Durrant though on that 1-3-5. Gets a 20. Gets a treble 19. Good score there. And only gets 59, which puts him down at 76, which is still not bad considering Portela's at 2-5-8, but, well, Portela's let him off anyway because he's got a treble 1 to get 3. Then gets a treble 19. And then gets another treble 19, which is very good there from Portela. Makes up for that treble 1 at the start to leave him 1-4-1. Does it here with 76. Gets the treble 20, needs the double 8, and gets the double 8. And, well, it wasn't necessarily a convincing leg there from Duzza, but it's been too easy for him against Portela. And he's 2 legs away from the 3rd round of the World Darts Championship. It's going to be Durrant who throws as well. And time starting to run out here for Portela, who is a plenty of opportunities in this game to try and break Glen Durrant down. He's not been convincing at all tonight, does he? And ultimately, it looks like he's probably going to get through here. But Portela just been really, really poor, you have to say. Gets 2 treble 19s as Portela gets himself down from 5-0-1 to 3-6-7. As for Duzza, at 4-4-3, gets a 20. Gets a treble 20. And gets a 20. So 100 there leaves Duzza down at 3-4-3 after 6 darts. What can Portela do here? He's got a real opportunity to try and put the pressure on. He gets a treble 20. Might do with another one, which he does get. Real space for a 180 potentially, but he'll go down for the 19. And gets 139 to put Portela down to 2-2-8 and put the pressure on Duzza. He gets a treble 20 himself at 3-4-3. Then gets a 20. Really could do with another treble. He doesn't. And gets 100 to put Duzza down to 2-4-3. So Portela stepping up next at 2-2-8. What can the Brazilian do here? Starting to slightly get back into the game. But when I mean slightly, I'm talking about 1 leg. In fact, looking right now, he's only finished 20% of his doubles, which is really poor. As for Glen Durrant, 64%, which isn't bad in the long term, realistically. But, I mean, Portela today is... You can see the golfing class, can't you? 140 there for Glen Durrant means he's down to 103. Portela here is going to have to finish off this big fish of 170 if he wants to get this leg. Gets a treble 20. Needs another one for the big fish. Gets another one. Oh, could he be the first person to get the big fish for a 170? Oh, and he just can't. He gets the outer ball, and well, wouldn't have been a coincidence for the player who hasn't had a great day today to be the first player to get the big fish on the board. And Durrant here at 103 has a chance, but he cannot check out. And Portela might have a chance to get a second leg on the board here. All he needs to do is finish the 25, 9 in a double 8. What can he do, the Brazilian? Gets the 9. Needs the double 8. Now needs double 4. and doesn't get the double 4, which means Glen Durrant is let off and has a real chance here to go 2 legs up in this third set. He gets a 14 and it's not what he wanted, and well, he's going to have to get 11 and double 8 now if he wants to check out, Glen Duzza. Frustrated. He gets an 8 and oh, what's he done here? Really, really poor from Durrant there, and he gifts Portela a real opportunity to get the double 4 here and put himself 2 legs up, and I don't know what Duzza was thinking there. He's put the dart in his mouth once again. I think you can tell what he's thinking right now. But Portela here on the double 4, misses the first one, but gets the second one, and Duzza has gifted Portela a leg. And could this be an opportunity for Portela to get a set back to his name and take this game on for another set? He's getting a bit more of a confidence in this game, a bit more of a swagger, but he still needs to improve a little bit here because you can see Duzza's there for the taking. And he starts off with a very impressive 134. Chris has put full-time Liverpool 2-1 Tottenham. Who have they just scored late on? Top of the league. Have Liverpool just scored late on against Spurs? Liverpool v Spurs. Have you scored in the 9th? Oh my God, they've scored in the 90th minute. Oh, Jesus Christ. Bloody hell. 90th minute winner against Spurs. What a perfect time to win a game of that quality. But talking about quality, Portela's bringing it out now. Now he's got himself a 140, which puts him down at 227. Duzza currently at 441. The quality has really started to shift a little bit. Portela looking a little bit more confident now in this game, and Duzza being the one who looks shaky. Can Portela get himself another ton here? Gets himself to 20. Now a 19. Really needs a double or a treble to his name here. He does get a treble 18 though, and that's a lovely treble. It puts himself down to 134, and with Duzza down at 344, he's probably going to have at least 6 darts here at that 134, as Duzza gets a treble 5, a 20, and a treble 19. So, Portela here at a 134, treble 20, treble 14, double 16. You would assume he won't go for it, and he'll set himself up. Gets the 20. Gets another 20. Probably could do with a treble here. And he gets a treble 4, and it's not the most convincing treble in the world, but he does leave him at 82, with a potential chance at 3 darts here to check out. But Duzza on a 252. Gets 2 treble 20s. Could he get a 180 at the perfect time? He can't. He gets to 140 and puts himself down to 112. So a little bit of pressure here on Portela. Needs to try and check out that 82 to take a set to his name. Gets the 25. Now needs 17 for tops. Gets the 17. Can he hit tops for the sets? He can't. And he'll be down at 20 as Durrant's on 112. Big moment here for Duzza. Gets the treble 20. Now needs 20 and double 16. Gets the 20. Double 16 for a massive leg for Duzza. And that is a beautiful, beautiful 1-1-2 checkout from Duzza there. How crucial could that be in this game for the Englishman? That is quality from Glen Duzza. And he looked miles away from Portela in that set. But it puts himself potentially 1 leg away from the 3rd round, as he looks to get a 180 here to start off the 5th leg. And he does indeed. Brilliant indeed. Glen Duzza there. Second 180 of the match, in fact. And he's on for a 9-darter, which, what would be the chances in a game of this quality that it would see a 9-darter after what has been a pretty poor display from both players? But he's literally just said, where have you been to the 180? And, well, he's got another treble 20 here. And he gets another one. Surely. Oh, I just can't get it. Oh, the excitement builds, and he's down to 181 after 6 darts. Portela at 458. Looks like this game could be done and dusted pretty quickly with this leg. And Durrant, who, as I said a moment ago, was screaming after that 180. Where have you been? Where have you been hiding? He's been waiting for a 180 forever. And it finally comes out at the right time when he desperately needed it. He gets himself 95, which puts his 181 down to 86. Portela at 358, and he's going to have at least 6 darts at that 86. And Portela knows now that this game is surely done and dusted. So does it here on 86. Treble 18, double 16. Gets a 1. Now needs treble 15. Needs a 15, means he's going to have to just try and set himself up, which he does very well indeed, and drops himself down to 16. Portela at 299. He's going to have to get a fantastic score here if he wants any chance of a checkout. He gets a treble 19, an 18 and a 20 to leave himself with a score of 204, which means double 8 here for Duzza. 6 match darts to win the game. Misses the first one, but gets the second one, and that is that. Well, it wasn't a convincing performance tonight from Glen Duzza, but ultimately in the end, he comes out he comes out on top more than anything in this game against Diogo Portela, and he will be frustrated with how he played tonight. He will know in this situation that he didn't play to the best of his abilities, but all that matters is that he's got a clean sweep against Portela, who himself tonight didn't look poor, but you have to give credit for the Brazilian. His passion, his emotion, and his desire was fantastic to watch in that first game against Steve Beaton. But in the end, it's Glen Duzza who goes through to round 3. Big performance from the Englishman. He's through to the next round. And there we have it. What a night of action in the as I said, BDO World Darts Championship, the PDC World Darts Championship. Some very good games tonight, some very enthralling matches, and a really good day of action. Of course, we started off the morning with some very good games indeed, some really enjoyable ones. Of course, just looking back at today's action, we had, what a game this was. Ryan Joyce 3, Karel Sedler check 2. I think that was... Well, I was going to say match of the day, but I'll come on to what I feel like was the match of the day in the end. Ross Smith beating David Evans 3-0, good win for him. William O'Connell in a comfortable 3-0 win against Neil Zonneveld. And then the match of the day for me, Chris Dobie 3, Jeff Smith 2. He was 2 sets down, Chris Dobie, and came back all the way for a thrilling match indeed. And then tonight, of course, as you can see on your screen, Max Hopp with a 3-0 victory over Gordon Mathers. Callan Rides with a 3-1 victory over James Bailey. Adam Hunt in a thrilling match against Lisa Ashton, a 3-2 victory. What a game that was in the end. And then Glen Durrant with a 3-0 victory over Diogo Portela. A very poor game, I have to say. I think Duzza will be frustrated with his finishing. Portela will be upset with himself that he didn't play better. But ultimately, Duzza's through to the next round, and that is all that matters. So that is it for tonight's action in the PDC World Darts Championship. If you are new as always, it would be greatly appreciated if you do leave a like and a subscription. As always, it's really appreciated. We're only 5 subscribers away from 1,350 subs. We're trying to push towards 1,400 by the end of the year. But tomorrow I will be live at 6 PM for the evening session. There will be no live stream for tomorrow's afternoon session. If you're wondering what games are on tomorrow, Madars Rasma takes on Toru Suzuki, who's debuting at the World Darts Championship. Mike De Decker takes on Edward Foltz. Ryan Murray takes on the character that is Lawrence Illigan. And then Daryl Gurney takes on William O'Connor in what should be a very good round 2 fixture. And then tomorrow night, when I will be live at 6 o'clock, Luke Woodhouse takes on Jamie Lewis. Ron Muhlenkamp takes on Boris Kerkmar. Ryan Searle takes on Danny Lauby. And Jose de Souza, a special one, takes on Ross Smith. But as for now, Andy Humphrey put in the chat, good games, guys. Thanks, Josh. Great commentating, pal. Thank you very much. I've got to say, I wouldn't say I'm the greatest when it comes to commentating at darts. I'm still learning, but I'm trying my best. I like to try and do some watch-alongs and commentating at the same time. It's always good indeed. And then Austin's put, thanks for commentating. I'll be tuning in for future matches. Thank you very much, Austin, indeed. It's really greatly appreciated. And for all of the support that we've had on the channel, I was using this, to be honest, as a tester to see whether we'd do any more darts watch-alongs in the future, I can categorically tell you now, there will be more darts watch-alongs in 2021. So do keep your eyes out, because I think tournaments like the Premier League of darts will definitely be doing watch-alongs for in 2021. But as for now, thank you very much for joining me. As I said, I will be live once again tomorrow at around 6 p.m. GMT, that is UK time, of course, for more first and second round action. But as for now, I hope you all have a fantastic morning, evening, or afternoon wherever you are, and hopefully we'll see you again tomorrow night for a party at the Pally. Have a very good rest of the evening, and I'll see you later. Good night.